and just chilling. Look at you. Oh, so pretty. Oh, so pretty. Cats make everything better. Going. Hey, it's Doris with All the Books coming to you on location in the Pacific Northwest. Here to chat with Shawn about our latest installment of the Faber stories. This is Daughters of Passion by Julia O'Fallon. That's the perfect setting for this one, right? So yeah, Julia O'Fallon is an Irish novelist and short story writer, so I thought this would be a great follow-up to Milkman. Milkman was just okay for me. I liked the literary style of it and thematically what she was trying to convey, but I just found it really tedious to get through, so I thought this might be a nice addition to that storyline. So yeah, this is, I don't know, this is so far not really intriguing to me yet, but I have hope. So it's told from the perspective of a woman who has not eaten for 12 days. So it's very disjointed as she is flashing back to stories from her Catholic upbringing in her youth and more modern times. So she's interspersing the problem into the storyline with some of her friends and what they're going through. So yeah, I'm interested just because of the topic. I'm not sure the storyline is intriguing me yet, but maybe. So let's see what you think, Shawn. But before that, I have a brief intermission from a guest contributor. Oh my God.
Oh God.
We're here with Adam.
Live from Seattle. Yes.
We're having a little interlude to share some books recommendations for Shawn.
For Shawn.
And all of you.
Yeah. And welcome to Seattle, Doris. Yeah. How is it in the
Welcome
home?
to your home, Adam.
Yeah. She's under my dome. Okay. The first booktuber that I've allowed in my personal bubble, so it's big. But yeah,
we've been petting Fellini, okay?
Yeah, one of the cats is hiding, but yeah.
It's glorious.
Yeah. My fur babies.
I'll share a clip.
Okay. Insert here, another interlude. Okay. So what we're going to talk about, I thought while we're here, Doris has been checking out my shelves, and I thought we'd just grab a very pretty shelves. Yeah. The orange shelves. Handmade American steel. Okay, people?
We match.
Yeah.
We met.
Yeah.
I color coordinated with your shelves.
Yes. But I thought we were just perusing my shelves and talking about titles that we've both read and whatnot, or not. And I thought we'd pull out a few just for Shawn that I don't think he's read, but that I would recommend to him, and that if he bails on, he should probably just delete his channel, right?
Shameful.
Yeah, shameful. Okay. So first up we have, of course, my guy. Have you read Raymond Carver?
No.
Oh, you've never read Raymond Carver?
No.
Oh, the greatest short story American writer of the 20th century.
What is that woman that he reads, the short stories, the Canadian
I don't know. All he reads is women.
No.
Canadian.
Yeah, I bailed on it. Dear Alice Monroe.
Oh God.
I bailed on a Shawn.
Well, yeah. Well, it happens. She's hit or miss.
Yeah.
But Raymond Carver, which the title is "Will You Please Be Quiet, Please," which is actually the same thing I sometimes say when I watch Shawn's videos. So that kind of.
Okay.
A kid, Shawn. You know, it's all out of love.
Ooh, this is pretty.
Justine by Lawrence Durrell, a classic.
Look at that. Cover by.
We're not going to get into this, Doris.
No.
Okay, Justine isn't a classic. A classic. It's the first part of a quartet. Just super lush writing. Lawrence Durrell, yeah. He was an English writer.
It's very lush.
Yeah, it's about right before World War II, about just a group of characters in Alexandria, Egypt.
This would work for the interwar years. Mel's
another series.
No,
oh gosh.
there's a bingo card. Dude.
Oh no.
Yes.
No. Oh, no,
Through
no,
the ages.
no. A bingo.
This would totally work.
Okay, yes. Yes.
You don't play bingo?
You're trying to get me in trouble.
It's not hard.
Yeah. I don't like the bingo card, but yeah, technically, I guess it would work.
About this one?
Yeah. You can put it down. Thank you for being my thing. This one I'm actually handing to Doris.
Oh my God! Look at this book.
Yeah, The Man Who Loved Children by Christina Stead. Shawn.
This is a Norman Rockwell, guys. Look at that.
But it's by this woman, Christina Stead, this Australian-born, but she
She's
wrote
an
primarily in
Aussie.
America. Yeah, but she
Aussie.
wrote primarily in America, and this is like one of the greatest American epics of the 20th century, a total buried classic, and she's not even born from America. But yeah, Shawn, you would love it if you bailed on it.
We can buddy read it, Shawn.
Oh God,
It's big though.
Well, there might be a 10-page chunk that's
Don't
a little
bail.
dry, so
Don't bail.
Power through, Shawn. Jesus Christ. How about some Guter? Some Guter. Guter, Faust. Guter, Faust. Come on.
Foss?
Faust.
You say Faust?
Yes, Faust. The classic.
Does that say Foss?
Well, this is a bind up.
What is
Doris.
that?
Guter.
Gooter?
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
Okay,
I'm
maybe
not
maybe Guter's a little much for both Doris and Shawn, but you don't got to read. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying
So,
Shawn needs
we
to
don't
read
have
the
to
whole work.
book.
Yeah, just the
Which one?
Faust, his famous.
You say Faust? I always said Faust.
Well,
God, I'm showing my ignorance.
Faust or Faust. Trust me, I get in trouble for my pronunciation. But yeah, that's
Okay. Whew.
If you bail on it, Shawn, delete the channel. Just delete the channel. And then finally, you said you think Shawn read this. I don't think you
Maybe.
did. The Prime
Did
of
you read
Miss
this,
Jean
Shawn?
Brodie by Muriel Spark.
Stephanie, our dear friend from Time to Read! Highly recommends.
Yeah. The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. And Shawn was super into Spark, but he woke up one day and decided that, he can't relate to her characters. So it was...
We gotta see the one with the cat on the cover.
The cat?
You got a cat one.
Of Muriel Spark?
Oh, is it not the one we read, Robinson?
Oh, yeah. It's on the paperback rack.
We'll have an additional addendum. at
We're
the
not
end.
going to put an interlude. Okay, we'll put an interlude for the cat book.
Sorry, go ahead. Are you done with this one?
Well, yeah, it's an absolute classic.
Did you even say anything? I don't remember. I'm not listening. Okay, sorry.
Shawn, if you read it and you bail, delete the channel and delete your life. I mean, I'm not...
Okay.
Just, cut it off there.
Back to the show.
Back to Shawn, right?
Back to the show.
Okay.
Hey, Doris and Adam. I wish you could have seen my face and heard me squeal like a schoolgirl when that was that little interlude. I absolutely loved it. I will be responding separately in due course. Stay tuned, or should I say, be on your guard. So yeah, Doris, this story, I'm kind of with you. I don't know how I feel about it. I actually reread the first 14 pages today because it had been a while since I read them. And I liked them better on the second reading, so I don't know if you might want to try that. But I don't know if I like it. It's really going to depend what happens from here on in. The flashback thing isn't really working for me, but I think the language is nice, and what little bits of narrative there are, some of them are intriguing. So the two that intrigued me the most were Roshane's and Maggie's first communion. I thought that really went deep and gave me a new experience about how beatific Roshane's face went and how jealous Maggie was. And now this woman is still very much in her life, or had been up until the hunger strike. So that's interesting. And also at the very end, just before we stopped reading at page 14, Roshane's mother-in-law comes. Roshane's husband had been abusive and she had left him, and she's living with Maggie and Dizzy. And the mother-in-law, whose name, I've checked the pronunciation, it rhymes with parade, Marade, she intrigued me. And I hope we get more of that story. If it doesn't all come together, this might be one of those many instances where I think a short story wasn't enough to tell the story that needed telling, but time will tell. Beyond that, I don't have much else to say. I'm intrigued to finish and see if it comes together or not. And looking forward to hearing more from Doris. And Adam, did he follow you back to the south?
Hey, Shawn. I can't wait to see your response video. And might I suggest that you recommend a couple books to help Adam get in touch with his more sensitive side? Anyway, I totally agree with everything you said about this book. I did have to read the first part twice to get in the rhythm of it. And right after we chatted last, the very next page, I found that scene where Roisin and Maggie met Dizzy in the traffic circle to be just so funny and delightful. I loved that scene so much. I like this book a lot, and the other thing I agree with you about is that it wasn't long enough. It was kind of an introductory sketch to these characters in this situation and this setting, and it would have been fabulous if it was lengthened into a novella or a full-length novel. That would have been perfect. So yes, I'm definitely very much interested in this topic now after reading Daughters of Passion and Milkmen, and I need to get with our friend Jacqueline McMenamin and get some recommendations from her. I think she would have some good ones. So what do you think, Shawn?
Hey, Doris. Well, yeah, I liked it a lot. Wasn't quite a 5-star read. I'll get to that in a minute, but I thought the second chunk, the final 2/3 of it, were really good, and I totally agree with you that scene with Dizzy and Maggie and Roisin on the sidewalk in the very next page after we stopped was freaking unbelievable. It was so good. It was maybe the longest continuous scene in the novel and very central. I think that one and the first communion were the central scenes. Dizzy is an interesting character, hey? I guess what I had to knock a star off for was I thought that the way that it was explained or shown how the friendship between these three led to Maggie becoming an inadvertent or not quite what she planned for terrorist, which led to her being a hunger strike. I wasn't convinced by that. That didn't ring true for me. I thought it was a little bit... Either I missed something, entirely possible, maybe I need to read the last chunk again, or it just didn't quite work. But everything else about what I read today, I thought was fabulous, especially the ending where everything was knit together, the first communion and all of the sexuality, and everything was really beautifully woven into a fantastic concluding paragraph or concluding lines. So that's the only thing. I didn't think the story about how Maggie got from point A to point C in this story was convincing, but otherwise I loved it, and I agree with you. Count me in for reading more by Julia O'Fowlane. I want to follow up on that, and Jacqueline, please help us out, or anybody else. I'm looking forward to our next one, Doris, and for the rest of you, thanks for watching.
Here it is. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, we love a good cat, don't we, Fellini? Look over here, Fellini. Look, Fellini, the eye spot is here. Yeah, there's the guy. Look at him. He's so pretty.